In today's vid, another YouTube woodworker? Well, yeah, why not? Hi, I'm Brian. This is my shop. Come on in. Hi, as I said a minute ago, my name is Brian. Welcome to my shop and our YouTube channel. First video here, as they say, long time watcher, first time content creator. Thought I'd throw this out as a little bit of introduction to myself, channel, kind of what we hope to get out of this. So, if I get the title right, which is something else I get to learn how to do, you'll know two things about me already. One, I'm a novice woodworker. And by novice, I mean I've been doing this for less than 6 months. The second thing is I'm 50, right in the middle of Gen X. Self-described old man. And that's because usually in most of the groups I wind up in these days, I am the old man. So my background is actually IT. I have been in IT since the late 90s. Yes, boys and girls, I was there for the Y2K bug. And it really was as big a non-event as you've probably heard. So, but that was 25 years ago, still in IT. So at this point, you may be wondering, why woodworking? Well, woodworking is something I've always had an interest in. I've thought about doing it for most of my adult life. I've talked about it with my wife and my dad, to the point that they have actually bought me tools in the past to try to help me get into this. What stopped me was every now and then I would do a project for the house, shelf here, small table, end table, something like that, just a little thing. And every time it was done, I would look at it and I wouldn't be happy with it. I would see everything I got wrong. And there'd be that little voice in the back of my head, something you may be familiar with, and just say, see, you're just not good enough. Stop it. So I'd put the tools away and move on. Every handful of years, I'd come back to it, try something else. Same result, over and over again. So what changed? Well, last year I turned 50. Matter of fact, recording this, I'm just a couple of weeks away from 51. And when you hit that half-century mark, you start to think about things differently, hopefully. On top of that, my wife, who also turned 50, but don't tell her I told you that. She won't like it. She came to me last fall and said, we're going to go to a bunch of these fall festivals. Now, I'm here in the Missouri Ozarks. Any of you that know anything about the Ozarks know that every fall there are a bunch of festivals and craft fairs all over the place. So she comes to me and says, we're going to go to a bunch of these. So, like any good married man, I said, yes, dear. And we went. One thing I noticed at all these festivals, I've noticed it in years past when we've gone, but really hadn't paid much attention to it. But this year really struck me. Every one of those had at least one woodworker. Some of the larger ones had 5 or 6. And I kept finding myself going to their booths and looking at their stuff. And they all had a lot of the same stuff. A lot of cutting boards, a lot of charcuterie boards, little signs that they'd made with their CNC or their laser. And it was a lot of the same stuff. Now, there was a couple that had some small cabinets, end tables, small little coffee tables, those kind of things. Because at craft fair, it's not a big shop. That's nothing. I kept finding myself looking at these objects, these projects that they'd done, and realizing, saying to myself, I can do this. Maybe a little bit of training, a couple of different tools. I can do this. This doesn't look like anything that I should be worried about. I should be scared of this. I can do this. I can do this. And this went on over the course of the 3 or 4 weeks that we were going to these festivals. The last straw, I stepped into a booth for the fella, and I picked up a sign that he had made. And it was incredibly obvious to me just by holding that sign that all he had done was taken a board, cut it to size, put it in his laser engraver, and slapped a price tag on it. He hadn't sanded, hadn't finished it. It was cut, laser, sell. And he was selling this thing for $35. And I thought, oh, good Lord, well, I can do better than this. At that moment, that little voice in my head changed. And instead of telling me I wasn't good enough, it said, all right, fine, shut up and go do it. So I thought it over. I spent a couple of days actually thinking about it and decided that I wanted to do woodworking. This time I was going to go for it. So I talked to the wife about it, and she said, well, that's fine if that's what you really want to do. And we continued to talk about it, about what would I make? And would I just make for a couple of things for here around the house, maybe something for family? what was I going to do? And I kept telling her I wanted to do more than just cutting boards. I want to do more than charcuterie boards. I want to do tables, bed frames, nightstands, maybe game tables like we've seen out there. Well, I can only make so much for the house, and I can only make so much for family. The houses are only so big. I was going to do the rest of the stuff I wanted to do. So we talked it over and decided, let's start a business. If you're going to do this, do it right. Let's go out and do it. So we decided to start a business. And fortunately, when we made this decision, it was at the end of the year. Because, as you know, these days, your Christmas sales start sometime around Labor Day and go forever. And I was able to take advantage of a lot of those end of year sales to get some equipment that I didn't have. I also found out that I had a reliable, quality hardwood dealer less than a mile from my house. And it was like, I got to do this now. So we did. We got the equipment, got some hardwood, started making things. And like any good YouTube woodworker would, first thing I made was a cutting board. It's an end grain. It was hard. And it's in the way. It's in the kitchen. The wife still uses it regularly. Then I made some more cutting boards for Christmas, some coasters, a handful of other things here and there. And we decided that, yep, this is going to be it. We're going to go for this. And so on Valentine's Day, we filed the paperwork with the state, and Ozarks Grimworks was born. So now you might be thinking, why Ozarks Grimworks? What's with the name? It's twofold. One, we're here in the Missouri, heart of the Missouri Ozarks. We both love the Ozarks. My wife has been here literally all her life. I've been here for the last 40 years now. Born here, moved away, came back a dozen years later, been here ever since. We just love it here. It's a gorgeous part of the world, and I can't imagine living anywhere else. So that's easy. Grimworks? Well, my wife and I, both of our boys, some of our friends, we really enjoy the fantasy genre. Movies, books, TV shows, video games, tabletop RPGs. Yes, Dungeons and Dragons. We really enjoy that. It's one of the things that gives us a lot of entertainment here in our house. Matter of fact, we have a game night every Sunday night. The four of us and my son's girlfriend. There's a game night every Sunday that we play, and it's part of it. So Grimworks was just something that my wife threw out as we were talking about names, and as soon as she threw that out, we were all like, "Hey, that's it." So there we are. Those are Grimworks. So why YouTube? Well, it's a few reasons. One, I want to document my own journey through woodworking, so that later down the road, I can come back and see some of these early projects and see if I can improve on them. Also see if maybe I've gotten away from something that I might want to go back to. Also, for my extended family might want to watch. And, one of these days, maybe there'll be grandkids and they'll want to see what granddad got up to. Be a way for them to reconnect, you hope. Second reason I wanted to do this, I have had a few times in my life where I have been put in a position as a coach or a mentor or a leader of some sort, where part of the role was to teach what I know to others. I found that I really enjoyed doing that. Those that know me better will be shocked to hear that, but I did. I enjoyed the teaching aspect. So part of what I want to do with these videos is help others learn by watching me learn to make the mistakes. There was a saying that I've heard most of my life. A smart man learns from his mistakes. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others. So this will give me the chance to make these mistakes that you can learn from, so maybe I can help you down your path of wisdom. We can both learn something out of it, and we both move further down the road of work in our woodworking experience, right? It's a win-win. The third reason I had for doing YouTube is, as I mentioned earlier, I'm right in the middle of Gen X. Gen X this year, 2025, will wind up being from 46 to 60 years old. A lot of us find ourselves in a position of not sure what's next. Things that we thought we knew growing up, it's not the case anymore. Some of us are looking to start something new. Not start over, just start something new. So maybe by this old man being out here doing this, I might inspire somebody else to say, you know what? I'm going to try my thing too. I'm going to see if I can make a new start. I'm not saying replace, add to. So, and if I can inspire one person to get out there and do something new, then that's a win. I'll take it. So, there you go. That's me. That's the channel. The videos I hope to have in the future. I hope to have some stuff around builds for ourselves, as well as maybe for other people. I'm hoping to get some of that going. You'll see some builds of shop furniture as I improve the shop here. And there'll be some DIY stuff, because now that we're getting into this, my wife is getting a list of renovations she wants done to the house. It's an old list that we used to think we were going to have to hire someone to do. And now we've decided, you know what? We don't need to. We can do this. So there'll be some of that too. And I'm proud to say my youngest son has decided to come out and start helping me in the shop. He's been out here now for the last almost month, and he seems to really be enjoying it. And he's got some ideas of things that he wants to build that sound really interesting. So maybe I can get him to do some of those too. So, but for now, that's a wrap on this vid. Thanks for watching to the end. I think this is where I'm supposed to say something along the lines of like and subscribe or something. I don't know. I'm new here. I mean, look at me. I'm the new guy. Wow. Haven't said that in a long time. Anyway, thanks for coming by to visit. I'll see you next time. Until then, be good to each other. We'll make something.